Hello, everybody, and all right, nice start. Nice start. I start, and the first thing is voice break. Perfect. All right, let's try this again. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to UKSG Autumn 2021. My name is Floa, and I'm gonna be your host for the remaining 3 runs of this very event. Now, currently, we are looking into an Octopath Traveler run in here. But however, we do have a slight problem, guys. We currently have a tie between the top 2 choices of the Bidwar. We get a tie between Cyrus and Tressa for this Bidwar. So if anyone wants to snipe this with a last-minute snipe, your time is right now. Now, why don't I tell you a bit about what we are actually raising money for in here? So, we are raising money for Crisis. And Crisis is a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. 90% of your donations will go towards Crisis, and the other 10% of them will go towards helping UKSG support future events. So, if you want to know more about what Crisis does, then here's a bit about them in their own words. So every bit of their work is integrated, and all of it contributes to the purpose of ending homelessness. The services they provide are carefully informed through their decades of experience of working with homeless people and the research they have carried out over the years. Their research is driven by their knowledge from working side by side with homeless people every day. And this knowledge influences their campaign for permanent change. Now, however, I think I have talked enough in here. I think Xoneris is really waiting in here. So, hello, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, how's it going? It's your boy, Xoneris, or as you can read on my nameplate back there somewhere. Yeah, this is Octopath Traveler. It's a very cool game, and there's one thing I can explain before we start. For all of you who never played this game, never heard of it, never seen anything. So as the name of this game suggests, Octopath, there are 8 main characters in this game, and right here at the beginning of the game you can select your quote-unquote main character. And the cool thing about this game is that all of these 8 characters have their own individual single story. There's like not really like an overlatching big story as like most know it from like JRPGs. No, here everybody has their own problems and stuff, and they're all just dealing with their own stuff, but they just do it in like a collaborative fashion or something like that. It's very unique, and that is exactly the reason why every single character has its own single speedrun, which is very cool. But yeah, so I can speedrun a handful of these, and the Bidwar was for you guys to choose which of these characters I should speedrun. And yeah, apparently we're a little bit in a debacle right there, but I might think we have a solution for this by now, right?
Yes, we do. We do have a solution for this. Thanks to a certain the DM Panda, who has donated $5 because Xoneris said so. And
yeah, I feel like I know what the choice is gonna be.
Yeah, now we get... Oh, did I miss another? Oh, well, we do have another $5 that just came in, which is from Pyro Cheesecake saying Cyrus Snipe. And with that, we actually have $45 towards Cyrus now.
Nice! You guys are pretty great, because Cyrus is the best character. Now I just need to quickly switch over to notes. I had both open because I wasn't sure which one we're gonna do, but I guess we're doing Cyrus then. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go on. This is Cyrus. He's my personal favorite character. He's a scholar. And yeah, let's get into it. So, run starts in 3, 2, 1, and go. Also, thank you for these 2 snipers, so I can play my favorite character. So yeah, this is Cyrus the Scholar, as I mentioned, and he starts out in this castle here, because his story starts out as a... he's a teacher at this academy here, and he teaches the princess of this area and like some of her maidens and stuff like that. And yeah, this is how his story starting out, you're just, you know, in the school and doing some shenanigans and stuff. One cool thing about this speedrun is that you can very easily skip all cutscenes and dialogue and stuff like that, which is just very, very awesome. As you can see, I just need to press the A button and the loading screen or the bar fills up to skip stuff, which of course, if you're playing the game casually, is like, why would you do that? That's kind of like you're missing everything. But in terms of speedrun, this is awesome. Of course, you can skip all the quote-unquote boring parts of the run, and that is very, very cool. So we are starting out with Cyrus's main ability that he can use outside of combat, which is Scrutinize. So all 8 of the characters in this game have their own unique abilities outside of a game, outside of combat and inside of combat. And as I just mentioned, Cyrus can scrutinize people for some hidden information or for some secret items, secret passages, and all sorts of stuff like that. And he is also able, like, obviously to scrutinize for his story purpose, indicated by the green bar above NPC's head when that's, you know, it's like story related. Because Cyrus obviously is a very smart, intelligent person, you gotta be a little bit of a detective, and after you scrutinize all the things, you do like the forehead big brain move and just combinate all of the things you learned. And that is kind of what we just did. So we figured out what happened in the story so far. And yeah, we can now go to our first dungeon and beat the first boss of the game. But before we do that, we're gonna quickly head off here and we scrutinize this little girl. Because apparently this little girl knows about this item here that is laying under this tree that is totally hidden if you don't scrutinize her for some reason. And yeah, I'll be talking about the item I just picked up a little bit later. And we just bought a little bit of an upgrade here. So we can make the first boss a little bit easier. And yeah, so this is the first dungeon of the game. And this is probably a good moment to talk about the combat, because it's gonna start any second now. There we go. So, Octopath Traveler. Oh, cool. I got surprised. Thanks, game. Great start. So, combat in this game, as you can see, is a just turn-based combat. But there are a few minor details about this combat. So, if you pay clear attention in the next encounter, so every enemy in the game has like this weird bar below them that has like some symbols and a shield with a weird number and stuff. And that's the break mechanic. So whenever I hit an enemy with their like individual weakness, they lose one of these like shield points. And when they reach 0 of these shield points, you quote unquote break them. And what that means is you stun them for 1 turn. And yeah, they get stunned and they can't really do anything after this point. And they also take increased damage from that. Ooh, this is a nice spicy encounter. This is a very good one. I like this one. This is rather rare, but a very good one, because I need the EXP here. And yeah, let me talk about the boost mechanic later, because I can maybe talk about it during the boss fight. So we are heading into the first boss now, which is a Russell, which is a fellow like scholar dude who just stole a few books. And don't worry about his height, he's not actually this big, it's just a weird game thing to let you know that that's the boss. So, this boss fight, the first thing we need to do is to get rid of his 2 little ads there, the floaty like things there. And let me see, I think we do this, right? There we go. So we get rid of the 2 small guys here. And now we can deal with this guy in peace. Okay. So far, so good. Let me think. Yeah, we should probably heal real quick.
Let's try this.
So we're gonna break him here, and because he's broken now, he's gonna take increased damage. We throw another one of these soul stones in his face. I'll talk about soul stones a bit more later. And he's still up and running, so just a little bit more here. There we go, and he should be dead about now. There we go. Easy claps. Alright, that was pretty good. So that was the first boss fight. And yeah, let's talk about the boost mechanic real quick as well. Some of you might have seen it, maybe not. So all of the characters in this game in combat, they have like this little golden points above their name on the right side of the screen. And every single turn in the battle, you get one of these boost points. And as the name of this might suggest, you can boost your attacks with those boost points. And for melee attacks, you can just do them like multiple times in a row, depending on how much like boost points you invested. And for magic attacks, they just do like more damage like that. And you might have seen that, like when I smashed him with my rod a few times, that was boost points. And also with the fire at the end, I boosted the fire to its max capacity, and it's just like that. Easy. And yeah, so I just realized I don't need to talk to this guy, this force of habit. But I guess we get some money here. Yeah. So we basically just finished the first chapter of Cyrus. Every character in this game has 4 chapters to their story. And we are now gonna deal with the most annoying part of pretty much every Octopath speedrun, and that is some leveling shenanigans. As you might know, in the most JRPG speedruns, there's probably somewhere where you need to level a little bit. And yes, we're gonna do that in this run as well. But we only have to do it once, and oh wow, really? Is this really how this works? Okay, no, we're good. Never mind. So we're going to this very famous place in the community called the Whistlewood. And the Whistlewood here, this is quote-unquote a little bit of a high-level area. And we are going to be killing some enemies here, some high-level enemies. With some... Oh, maybe? Okay, nice. This is what you call a first try. And now nobody won't believe me when I tell them that this is normally the place where you lose a couple of minutes. Because you don't get the right encounter. But okay, nice. Thanks, game. Very cool. So yeah, that... wait, let's see. That's an area where you kind of need to be level 15 or so. And I entered it with level 4. And...
Is Ian famous marathon log?
Yeah, definitely some favorites of marathon luck right here. Normally, it takes like 1,000,000 hours in that forest to get the correct thing that you need. But we get lucky, so that's nice. So, the reason, or before that, like, that Whistlewood has like, I believe 6 different encounters or something like that, and there are only 3 in there that give you sufficient amount of job points that you need to learn new abilities, and all 3 of those are rather rare. And yeah, as I said, I obviously just got the first try easy, so I guess that's the thing. So, and job points. So, job points and experience points in this game are 2 different things. Experience points is just so you level up, and whenever you level up, you just gain some stats, and that's about it. Nothing else. The way you learn new abilities in this game is by job points, and they also come from just fighting. Whenever you finish a battle, you get some job points, and the harder the enemy was, the more job points you get. And like I mentioned, there are 3 encounters in that Whistlewood that give us enough sufficient job points that we need to learn a new ability. And the ability itself is not really that important, because there are passive abilities in this game, and those passive abilities unlock depending on how many active abilities you have unlocked. And Cyrus has probably one of the best passive abilities in terms of speedrunning, which is evasive maneuvers, which is first passive ability, which he learns when he learns just 4 like attacks for abilities of every kind. And basically what evasive maneuvers allows you to do is to walk further distances everywhere before you get into random encounters. And as just perfectly demonstrated right here, I was able to walk all this distance without any random encounters. And now, very early on, this might not be sounding... I mean, it sounds kind of nice, but like, what makes this so broken? The part that makes this very broken is that this allows us to traverse very, very dangerous high-level area because we just won't get any random encounters. So the fact that we're massively under-leveled is completely irrelevant because we can just walk the entire distance without ever getting into a fight, which is very cool. And that in turn allows us to, right here from the get-go, from the start, go to a lot of high-level areas and get some of the best loot in the game, which is kind of what we are about to do here in just a second. Double checking my notes here. Right, this part. Like, for example, right now I'm already in kind of a higher level area where I can grab another one of these super cool soul stones here. And yeah, this is basically what we're gonna do for just a little bit here. Just running around some high level areas. There's still a tiny little bit chance that we get into random encounters, but hopefully it shouldn't. And yeah, that's very cool. So we can get some very nice... We can get a lot of money right from the get-go. Some good high-level items that we either gonna use or that we're gonna sell later on. And yeah, we also quickly go into a few cities and villages that you've seen. This was already the third one. So whenever you enter a village or a city in this game, you can fast travel there. And that's the reason why I just went in there and immediately went out again, because there's nothing in there that I need immediately. Yes. So, I just realized I might have went the wrong way, but we'll see. Probably not. I need to go here anyway. So here's another neat little trick that you can do. There are some areas in the game which are just too large, even with the evasive maneuver, so you can go all the way around it. But there's another little secret little trick here, which are just save points, like this. So, yeah, like this. Whenever sometimes there's like a save point in the middle of the map, and you can just save, and reload the save, and your encounter thing starts at 0 again. Which for some particular maps is very, very nice. Very, very nice. So here is our first job shrine. And every character in this game has like a main job. Cyrus is the scholar of the bunch. But like every job in the game has like... Every character can learn like secondary jobs. And those are what those shrines here are for, the job shrines. And I just picked up the mercenary at the merchant shrine, which is usually Tressa's job as the merchant. But now that I picked up the shrine, I can teach the merchant class to every other character that I have in my party, and that is going to be very, very useful a little bit later, but you'll see in a bit. Because merchant is, without a doubt, the single most broken thing in this game in terms of speedrunning. Without the merchant subclass, this speedrun would probably not be as feasible as it is. So, quickly teleporting back here. And now we are going to another very high level area of the game, where we are going to pick up some more very cool items. I think this is the first time we're really gonna enter a super high level area. And after that, we're gonna recruit our next character. Because despite the fact that this is like a single story speedrun, we do still recruit some of the other characters, but we don't really bother with any of their stories except for the first chapter, which is kind of mandatory. You cannot leave the village of a character if you've not like finished their first chapter, which is, yeah, a thing. So yeah, we're now in the super high level area. It might not look like it, but it kind of is. That's why I'm quickly gonna safety save here. Just in the off chance I'm gonna get an encounter that is absolutely gonna obliterate me. And we're gonna take this semi-hidden passage here. Wow, okay. That was like 3 steps from the entrance. So you can see Cyrus has 300 health. And let's see how much damage these guys do. If anybody ever hits me. Nice, I got hit for 1,225. So that would have killed me like, what, 5 times? Nice. So yeah, good thing I safety saved here. So yeah, let's try again. This time it's gonna work. So we're gonna enter the Shrine of the Rune Blade. Danger level 50. Where the game implies to me that my character should be at least level 50 to have a chance in this area. But yeah, you know, if you don't need to fight, who cares about levels? So we're just gonna go over here. Grab this money over here. And now we're gonna go to Ripple Tide, which is Tressa's starting area. And I'll just quickly... There we go. Or actually, yeah. All good. So yeah, we're gonna now get our second character, which is Tressa, which is funnily enough the other character that almost won the Bidwar. So we get to see both of them, sort of. It's just not Tressa's story, I guess. There we go. So Tressa, a very beloved character. She's kind of cute, kind of neat. She's like the Ayaya character, to be honest. And she's also very young in this game. She's like, I think 17 or something? 18? 19? Something like that. I don't quite remember. But Tressa, like I mentioned, is the merchant. And the merchants out of battle have the ability to buy stuff from NPCs. Which you can only do if you have a Tressa in your party. Which is just... That's just kind of nice. It's not a big deal, but it allows you to buy some very neat little things from some NPCs. Which you would not be able to get anywhere else. But in combat, merchants have a very broken ability called Hired Help. Which sounds very thematic for a merchant, right? You can just spend some money and let somebody else fight for you, right? And that is exactly kind of the reason why merchants are broken. I'm not gonna go into detail yet, because very early on in the game you don't really need this. This is more for like the end game and the high level bosses. But I just mentioned it already, so you can like keep it in your head. So, coming up is Tressa's first boss. We don't need to talk about Tressa's story because after this point we don't bother with her story anyway. So, the first boss are these 2 pirates, and this is without a doubt the hardest boss in the game. Maybe sarcastic, maybe not, let's find out. So, we go into items, and we use this light soulstone S, and hey, there we go. We won. Boss fight over. Cool. Whew! I menued correctly. Hardest part of the game. So I guess this is a perfect moment to talk about these soulstones that I've already been using a few times now. So soulstones are an item that you can pick up all around the world. And yeah, you can just use them from your inventory, and they do a set amount of damage every single time you use them. And they come into 3 different sizes, like small, medium, and large. And like obviously, the larger the soulstone is, the more like predetermined damage it does. Also, they come into the form of like elemental attacks. Like there are 6 different versions of these soulstones. According to the different elements like fire, water, ice, lightning, light, and darkness, and all that stuff. And as you saw, very early on, I just absolutely evaporated those 2 guys, because this early in the game, you're not supposed to have, like, large soulstones. Even medium soulstones are kind of not really a thing that you should have at this point. But we have, and that made that boss fight just really easy. And yeah, without further ado, we'll instantly recruiting our second character here, which is Olberic. Olberic the Mighty Warrior. He's pretty cool. He's probably... In terms of like his story, is probably my favorite... my second favorite story. He's like... It's pretty badass, and there's a very cool plot twist at the end of his story. No spoilers. It's cool. So yeah, Olberg is the warrior, and as the name might imply, he's just the battle dude. Outside of combat, he can like challenge NPCs to duels, and sometimes NPC like block entrances, and you need to duel them to like knock them unconscious so you can get into the building. It's a little bit rude, but you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Have a taste of this. And yeah, as you've seen so far, all you in chat, you can probably guess how exactly we are going to deal with this the boss of Olberg's story here, which is coming up in just a second. A neat little, or an interesting little thing is, the more members you have in your party, the harder the first few bosses get, because, you know, as you can recruit all the 8 characters in any way you like, in any order you like, there's like a dynamic system that like buffs or nerfs the bosses depending on how many party members you already have. It's pretty cool system. All right, yeah, this is Gaston. This is the next guy. And for this guy, we are going to use not just one soul stone, we're gonna use 2. There you can see that he is already buffing up a little bit. But that is not going to be that big of a deal. Just a big soul stone and a small soul stone, and that should do the trick here. And I just realized that I forgot to buy a stone, but I can fix that easily. So yeah, and that is it for Olberic's first chapter. Now we don't have to bother with anything that he ever does or says, or something that ever happens in his story. Because as I mentioned, this is a Cyrus-only speedrun. This is the Cyrus fan club here. And I forgot to buy this soul stone from this lovely lady here. No, this one. There we go. No, I don't want to talk to you. No. So, next up, we go... Exactly. We go directly... not to the next boss. Yep. Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, so since I had a Bidwar for 4 different characters, I kinda need to have all 4 like in my head. It's really hard to prepare for 4 characters at the same time, because muscle memory is kind of a thing in this game. And whenever you, like, there are a lot of areas in this game that you visit in any character, but you do different things in there, so muscle memory is a thing. So I really need to look onto my notes, so just to make sure that I don't mess up anything. So whenever you see me look to the side and don't do anything, that's just me reading notes for a second. And yeah, so we are now, like, the next goal is to recruit our next character, but that is gonna take a little while, because we're gonna travel a little bit and pick up some more awesome items that we're gonna need. And yeah, there's gonna be just some walking around here, so I guess this would be a nice moment for Flo to talk about a few things, or some donations, or whatever you have in store for us, friendo.
Well, I certainly have a lot to talk about. For example, why don't I talk about the upcoming Bidwar that we have for the Resident Evil HD remaster, where we have the simple question: which character will our runner Tompano choose? Will it be Jill or will it be Chris? Don't think either of them need an introduction, because everyone knows Resident Evil, and yeah, we're currently at like $95 for Jill and $60 for Chris. So if there are any Chris fans out there, you still have some time to go, and you need like $35, so it's definitely still doable. But yeah, that is about all for now, unless you tell me that I can say more.
Nah, I guess we're good. We're almost there.
All right, and I'll throw it back to you.
Thanks. Yeah, don't forget to donate for that the last Bidwar of the day, I believe, right?
Of the event.
Yeah. I mean, of the event and of the day, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget to donate. So, Yeah, you just saw me, by the way. They're getting into a random battle. It was a low-level area, so there was nothing to worry about. Just lost me a couple of seconds because I couldn't flee instantly. Feels bad, man. But that's just the randomness of this game that happens sometimes. But yeah, we are now entering the second, or the village where Cyrus's second chapter happens. Or his second story. And right here is very important, right at the start, that you don't select... There we go. Did it. Tressa and Cyrus's second chapter happen in the same place. And yeah. Make sure not to accidentally activate Tressa's chapter, because that would lose you a few seconds, because then you would need to go to the inn, tell the inn, oh guy, by the way, I want to do the other one, and blah blah blah. So don't do that. That's bad. So yeah, we're now starting Cyrus's second chapter here. And yeah, so we're doing another little bit of a scrutinizing here. But we are only gonna do the quote-unquote the non-combat part of this so far. And we're also gonna purchase some things from this very handsome, nice little fella here. Some soul stones, thank you very much. And we scrutinize this guy from below, because you can do that. It's interesting. I don't know, it just looks funny. So maybe a story a little bit real quick. So the reason why Cyrus is not in his academy thing anymore is because he was quote-unquote kicked out because of some false allegations. There are some allegations that he's like in a romantic relationship with one of his students and stuff like that, which is obviously false. And he got kind of kicked out for that. But the ever-optimistic Cyrus thought, hey, let's just travel the world in search of knowledge or some secret tomes and stuff like that. Because he's a very happy-go-lucky, jovial kind of guy, but he's also very smart. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. And yeah, so we're currently traveling the world in search of ancient tomes and forbidden knowledge and all that. And that brought us to the other village that we were just in. And there's one of our old colleagues. And she told us about some things happening in this city or in this village, that during the night people get abducted and they're never seen again. And yeah, not very good, right? And that's what we would go for now if we weren't a little bit underleveled. So yeah, we did like the talking part of the entire like second chapter. And after that, we're now continue to do some travel and recruiting our last party member. And unfortunately, we got into another random battle here where we couldn't flee. Please let me flee. Thank you very much. And we are now going to recruit Therion, the edgy boy of the Octopath group. He's the thief with his like hair on like one side of his eye. Yes, he's that kind of person. So yeah, Therion is the thief, and what's the word I'm looking for? He steals stuff. Original, I know. And yeah, that's what we gonna do, sort of. So in his first chapter, we break into this mansion and want to steal something, but we're gonna fight a butler, and that's kind of it. Like I said, we only recruit the other characters for their first chapter, and then we're not gonna bother with them again. Talking about that, if you're interested, there are also speedruns of this game where you finish the story of multiple characters. You could do like all the male characters, you can do all the female characters, you can do all the rogue characters or all the noble characters. There's like a lot of interesting categories like that. And obviously there's also all main stories where you finish the story of all 8 characters, which is I really like that category, but it's really long. It's like 3 to 3.5 hours, despite skipping all of the dialogue, all of the text and all that. But there's still like a lot to do, and if you finish everybody's story. Ah, Therion, why did you die? This is just another random battle, by the way. Sir, why did you die? That is very not cool. Okay, there we go. Alright, so next boss fight. And yeah. You can imagine how this boss fight is going to turn out, because we're still doing the quote-unquote introductory boss fights. Nothing too hard so far.
Take this.
Just throwing some more soul stones here again. Damn it, and something happened that I kinda... Okay, this is not good. Should be dead now, but I kinda messed up something. Backup strats. This guy definitely shouldn't have all too much HP left. Not like that. Sir, I'd appreciate if you die about now. Cyrus, my dude, you gotta wing it. There we go.
Not bad.
Not bad. So, there we go. Now we finally have the full party assembled. And we can now sort of deal with the rest of Cyrus's story in just a moment. So I have to quickly finish up some stuff here in this village, otherwise you can't leave. Some final dialogue of Therion's story and all that. And there we go. So now this is the part where we are getting into the territory where we are under-leveled by quite a lot. This game is a little bit weird structured in terms of like power levels. Like it's kind of not really intended to finish somebody's first chapter and instantly go to a second chapter. Like you would be quite under-leveled there. And yeah, you would be having quite a bad time doing that. But yeah, so you're supposed to just run around and recruit our characters and go finish their stuff and level that way, and then you do all the second chapters and then all the third chapters. Yeah, like that. But speedrunning this game is very cool because there's a lot of neat little tricks that are very helpful in the speedrun. Also picking up the Hunter Shrine here. Which is normally Hanit's job, and this subclass has a few neat little abilities that are gonna be very clutch a little bit later. And now we're gonna do some job things here. So some leveling, this and this, and there we go. So we have given Cyrus the Hunter subclass and Olberic the Merchant subclass, and coming up here might be kind of a dangerous battle. Please, no! There we go. Easy clap every time. There's a small chance that you get into an encounter before you reach the save point, and that it's a very, very dangerous encounter. If you're lucky, you can just run away with like a sliver of health. But if you just reach the checkpoint here without triggering the encounter, then you don't have to worry, which is nice. So we are now in the final area of Cyrus's story, but that doesn't really matter. Because we're just real here for a short amount of time. We just pick up some stuff, buy some stuff real quick. It's not a big deal. Don't talk to this guy. Misclicked. This chest here with a lot of money. And this chest over here. And that's it. And... damn it. Was the wrong town. I want to go to this one. There we go. And yeah, so one more time, we have to go somewhere to a high-level area to pick up some more high-level items that we can either use or sell for money. And after that, we are going to battle the Chapter 2 boss. And we are going to a similar area that I went before earlier. But unfortunately, you can't really do both of them, like, at the same time. Like, I could go into, like, a 10-minute explanation why you cannot do both at the same time. But, I guess, not really, like, not really that important. So, yeah, you might recognize this area. This is where some of the birds attacked me earlier. And now, instead of going to this rune, the Shrine of the Rune Blade thing, we are going to a different area. Which is called the Everhold Tunnels, right? Which is, I think, the second highest level area of the entire game. There's only one area of the game which is, like, quote-unquote more dangerous than this area. And yeah, you can imagine there's some spicy loot in the second highest level area of the game. So, just quickly safety saving here, because there's still a small chance we might get into an encounter. Hopefully not, but we'll see. So, we, in just a second, are going to abuse a little trick. I don't know why this is a thing, but it is, and good for us. Because here would be a side boss. And when I enter that, like, thing up there, it tells me, like, are you prepared for the battle ahead? And if you just turn around and say no, the spawn rate for random encounter starts at 0 again for some reason. I don't know why this is, but thanks, game. Very helpful. So I can traverse this entire area and picking up all the good loot without getting into a single encounter with this little thing here. One more time. No, thank you. I don't want to battle. And we already collected some very cool stuff here. And just one more time here. There we go. And that's it. A lot of cool stuff was just gained by without any encounters. And now we are going to face the next battle. So yeah, as I mentioned, in this area there were some abductions here. And Big Brain Cyrus has figured out it had something to do with the sewers here. So we're now going into the sewers and finding out what all of this is about. Like, what's going on here? Why are people getting abducted? What evil secret shenanigans are going on here? Quick safety save right here. In case I mess up something in this battle. And yeah, so this is the first time you get to see why merchants are broken. Why merchants are literally paid to win in this video game. So this is Gideon. He is the bad guy in this boss fight. But it's not really going to matter, because he's gonna die very fast.
Out of my way. I see.
So...
No, I think not.
And the power of merchants shall be here. And once again. Boom, 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 and he's dead. And if you look at these damage numbers of 5,500, that is a lot. And yeah, you just saw the full power of why merchants are broken in the speedrun. As I mentioned earlier, there's this very cool ability that merchants have called Hired Help. And you can just spend money, in-game money, to get some help. And depending on how much money you give out, the stronger the attack is. And if you spend 30,000 leaf, which is the currency in this game, you can get the veteran soldiers which do end game levels of damage. And the cool thing about that is it doesn't matter which what level your characters are, because the damage of that ability scales off the money you spend and not of any levels or any equipment or anything. And that is why we can deal with all of the end game bosses or Cyrus's story bosses in the later chapters, where we are massively underleveled. And that is very neat. And that is why there's the running gag that this game is literally paid to win. Now, in the longer categories of this game, like the all stories and such, there you can abuse other things that will give you insane amounts of damage. But those things are a little bit... like, you cannot get them very early on. They're really dependent on, like... you need to ramp them up slowly over time. They require, like, leveling and some investment in that. But because the long runs are that long, it's worth it. And you can achieve damage that is, like multiple times higher than the hired help, which is insanely ridiculous. But, yeah, that's just a fun thing. So, Saints Bridge. This is a town that is completely irrelevant to the story here. Wow, I got it first try. That is very nice. Cool. But we are going to this area, because if you scrutinize this guy on the bridge that I just did, you can buy some more items in the item shop here. And I need a very specific item here, which is the Empowering Bracelet. And I need exactly 8 of those. And what these bracelets do is give everybody 500 HP. And I equip everybody with 2 of those. So everybody gets 1000 HP more, which is very good. I ran out of healing. Feels bad. I guess... let's just quickly go to the inn. And yeah, now all of my characters have 1000 more HP. And this is really necessary for the next boss fight, because the next boss fight is probably one of the most annoying boss fights in any game. Or in any single story speedrun, because he's very, very random. And most runs die to this guy right here. Cyrus's Chapter 3 character. Yeah, he's quite annoying. Talk about him in a second. Again, as it is with Cyrus, in his story, you need to scrutinize a few things first. Or a few people, rather. So, there's this guy here living in the city, and he once transcribed an old tome for somebody. A hidden, like, tome with ancient knowledge, forbidden knowledge, and all that stuff. And you kind of want to talk to him, but he's not the talkative person that he doesn't want to talk to you. So you go around and scrutinize some of the townsfolk here to find out why this guy is, like, so not nice. Also need this here, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay, there we go. So yeah, we find out that this guy, the reason why he transcribed his this forbidden book is because he needed, like, the money from the guy who ordered it, because his daughter was, like, sick or something, and with the money of transcribing the book he could have helped his daughter and stuff, and he regrets it. But you know, sometimes you do bad things for the people you love and all that stuff. And yeah, we find out, like, kind of what happened. And after that, weird things happen. So, the assistant of the headmaster of the academy that Cyrus was teacher suddenly showed up and told us to follow her. So we go into this house here, and we fell down a trap hole. It was a trap. That was the wrong button, damn it. No, that was the correct button. So yeah, we fell down. And yeah, one of our students helps us. I don't know why she's here. We're like on a different, like the other side of the continent. Not really, but sort of. And yeah, but she helps us, and yeah, things happen. So some menuing real quick. I need this and this and this. And yeah, so we are now in the dungeon of the third boss fight. And as I mentioned, this boss fight, either I get it like first try easy peasy, or we'll be sitting here for a little bit. Because this boss fight is very, very annoying. So the problem with this boss fight is that he has two wizard companions. And these two wizard companions are the reason why this battle is so incredibly hard. Because these two mage guys have this tendency to use a tornado, which basically kills my guys instantly. Not instantly, but it does too much damage to safely recover from it. Yes, that is exactly what I mean. There you go. And they did all of this damage despite me giving all of my character 1,000 more HP. So if I would have not gotten all of my characters, these like 1,000 HP, like the first tornado would have instantly killed them anyway. So, yeah, this is about what you get to see for like the next few times, because this is like what happens most of the time. What you want to see is that both of these wizard guys do not cast tornado. They just use a normal, regular attack, and they don't cast like tornado. Like, please, sir, no tornado. That'd be very helpful. And then there's also the other guy. Oh, pause, champ. Is this the run? This might be it already. Okay. Let's take this slowly and don't mess up, because this is exactly what is supposed to happen so far. There's still a chance I might mess up something, because I'm me. So let's not do that. Oh yeah, I definitely messed up. I just realized something. Ah, yeah, I see. Damn it. Wait, why are these guys not... Oh yeah, never mind. Yep. Ah, damn it. I forgot to sell some of my items. I only have like 9,000 leaf. And I'm gonna need hired help a few times in this fight. Yep, that's kind of what it's like preparing for characters at the same time. Or at least like having them in the back of your mind.
I am sorry.
Yep. Unfortunate. Damn, that was second try. I messed it up. Also, please give me this. Just remember. Right, and obviously the shop guy like here. So we are now gonna sell a lot of items, not this one. A lot of items that we picked up for a lot of money.
Do we have time for donation?
Yes, sir.
All right, we get a donation by D Tiny Tim. We get a $5 donation saying, "Hey all, donating for the always awesome Xoneris and the Octopath run. I've really enjoyed UKSG this weekend, so good luck Xoneris and the rest of the runners for the event. Cheers!" Thank you very much, Tiny Tim, for your donation. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, with that, we now are at $100 for Jill for the Resident Evil Bidwar. Chris is still stuck at $60, so any Chris fans out there will have to donate for that. It's still $40 away, so get your donations in.
Yeah, shout out to Tiny Tim, by the way. Amazing person.
I agree.
Okay, let's try this again. This time I think I hope I have everything that I need. This time obviously I get some random encounters. This is probably bad. The chances of fleeing from a battle with like higher end enemies is not that high. So probably everybody's gonna die here again. Yep. Okay. Okay, no, I'm pretty dead. Yeah, there we go.
I still have.
Yeah, unfortunately, this like his underground secret study laboratory is just slightly too long for evasive maneuvers to like work 100% of the time. Just slight little bit too long. There's like one pair of stairs too much here, or something like that. So let's try this again. Praying for some godlike RNG again. Let's go. I already get it once. Do I get it twice? Oh boy.
I cannot fail.
Let the gamble begin. Okay, let's see. Tornado! And that's an L for me. First try. Unfortunate. So what do you guys think? How many tries this is gonna take before they give me the good pattern again? This is now chat interaction stream. What do you guys think? How many tries until I get the good RNG again? So in terms of RNG, this run so far has been pretty good.
I'm gonna say we can do this. We can do this pretty fast, like first or second try now.
Well, let's find out.
I believe in you.
Okay, maybe? 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 Oh, okay, I guess. There we go. This game is really not like doing what, like, it's not... The things that are supposed to happen are not happening. That the marathon luck is real.
The infamous marathon luck is on your side today.
Definitely seems like it.
Take this.
So, yeah, this, yeah. Unless I mess up something again, this should be the fight. It's literally the first turn is the only dangerous turn. Like, if the two mage guys behave, the rest of the fight is kind of scripted and you should not lose, like, ever again. So, let me... There, exactly. Let me not mess this up. Reading my notes. There we go. This thing. Yes. We steal some money on top of him because... Lul. Yep. Cyrus doesn't need to do anything this turn. So, and this should be it for the guy in just a second. So we break him. Now he is stunned and takes increased damage. Both of our merchant defend, so they get one more boost point. And now we're gonna do some more pay-to-win strats. And that should be it. There we go. Easy claps every time. I can't believe I got like second try twice in a row. That's like, that is not a thing that happens normally. So yeah, about the story. So this guy that we just battled was the previous like head master of our academy. The guy who kicked us out. Big shocker. His glowy red eyes from right at the beginning of the start might have like gave it away that he might be not a good guy, but what do I know? So yeah, so he he read one of these like ancient forbidden tomes, and like that kind of made him crazy. And we fought him like that. And now we are at the final thing here. His fourth chapter. And this is where we find out that not the headmaster was behind all of this all along. No, it was his female assistant who was like pulling all the strings behind the curtains all the time. And yeah, she will be the final boss of the story. And there's also a little bit of RNG regarding her fight. It's not quite as bad as for Yvonne, the guy that we just fought. And because I said that, it's probably gonna take me like 6 tries on the final boss, just so the game can, again, do the opposite of what I just said. But we'll find out. I do believe I have enough money. Just double checking. Yep. Okay, cool. Should be good to go. So, and yeah, as I mentioned, we're now in those ruins that are like very not hidden behind like a thing, behind some not secret that's whatever. There's some ruins here with some books and stuff, some more forbidden knowledge, and Lucia, the assistant of the headmaster, has also read some of these and is totally going crazy. And that is going to be the final fight. So, safety saving, because like I mentioned, also need to teach this guy some stuff here. Right, this one. And this one. Actually, let's not do that. It's a bad idea. Okay, so yeah, Lucia is the last boss of the game. Her fight is gonna be very long, even though it's scripted. Like, if she does the correct things after turn 1, it's like it's a guaranteed win. It's just the first turn again that like depends. So, and this is definitely not the winning turn 1. So she's gonna sweep and everybody's gonna die. And just like that. Okay, Olberic. Olberic the man survives with 4 HP. Thanks for wasting a few more seconds of my life. Thanks. So, in order to win this fight, the only thing that needs to happen is that either Therion or Tressa go before this exact sweeping attack. Because both of these characters can apply a buff or a debuff that like negates some of the damage. And this again is not the winning move, as you can see by the bar above the boss. That really, Alberic surviving with 1 HP, dude. Come on. This man. In this case, it's not very helpful that he survives, because that wastes like another like 5 seconds or so every time he survives. Let's see. Maybe this is the win? Okay, this definitely looks like the win. So, since Therion and Tressa both now go before her, we can use Shackle Foe, which is a debuff that reduces physical damage. And Tressa can use the Mercenaries that give everybody a damage or like a defense buff. And as you can see, Sweep now only does half damage with these 2 buffs, which is very nice. And Cyrus also has a very cool debuff called Leg Hold Trap. This comes from the Hunter subclass, which always makes Lucia go last in turns, which is really important. So,
let's do this.
do we? I don't need this. Let's just do this. And as you can see, she has like a lot of shield points. Like, We need like a lot in order to break her. We still need like to apply 23 like attack hits for her to break. And that is exactly like what the rest of this fight is gonna look like most of the time. Good thing we have Cyrus here with a rain of arrows that can hit, that can chunk away some of these shields. And we're also gonna apply a very handy little strat with Olberic called Insight and Sidestep. Just making sure we're not on the wrong turn.
I appreciate it.
So Warrior has this cool ability called Insight, which provokes enemies to only attack them. And Merchant also has this very cool ability called Sidestep. And if you combine Insight and Sidestep together, what that does is that any physical attack is just not gonna hit. Like, it's just not gonna happen. It's not a thing. If you have Sidestep up, the physical attack will just not land. It's just gonna be a miss, as you can see here. And because of the Insight, Lucia is forced to attack Olberic unless it's an AoE attack like the sweep. And with those things combined, you can like survive this fight long enough so that you can slowly but surely eat through all of her shield points to break her and then finally kill her. And that is more or less the entire combo or strategy for this fight. Olberic is just gonna quote-unquote dodge tank all of the hits and everybody's just slowly chipping away at her shield points. And surviving the sweep attacks that she's, I think, doing every single turn. Too slow! Now this is also the reason why this fight takes like 8 turns. Because of the entire setup. And now all the debuffs have worn out, so we need to apply or reapply all of the buffs and debuffs real quick. Hold on. Oh wait, actually this doesn't matter. I remember. Oh boy.
Too slow. Too slow. An interesting dilemma.
Okay, so she has 5 left. Okay, so next turn we are going to break her.
Out of my way.
We're gonna apply Armor Corrosive, which is a debuff that increases physical damage taken, which is gonna help with our hired help guys.
How about this?
And I'm taking this very slowly so I don't mess up.
Let's do this.
It's a little bit sketchy. Let's do it like this. There we go. And now we break her, and now she's finally broken, and now we can go and kill her. Hopefully.
Take this.
Again, by just throwing all the veteran soldiers in her face. It's gonna need more than 2, though. It's...
Let's do this.
If I remember correctly, it requires 3 of them.
Let me help.
And also some additional soul stones
Take this.
to edge out just a tiny little bit of damage. That is not gonna be enough.
A gift.
And if I did everything correctly, she should be dead after this merchant attack. And there we go. That's the final boss.
With each battle,
Hoggy Woggies. It's funny that the first, like, it took me longer to defeat her than the other guy in terms of, like, RNG. Like, this was a third try, and the other guy was, like, second try, twice in a row. Which also normally doesn't happen. So yeah, the time is coming up in a few seconds. We just have to finish up some loose ends right here before we can actually see the credits. Hold up. No, wait, what am... Yeah, so at the end, you just have to scrutinize some books and do some detective big brain moves Cyrus again to figure out what's happening here. And yeah, you scrutinize 3 books and talk to a wall, and that's gonna be it. That sounds kind of weird, but that is exactly what we're doing. So we read this one book and there's something in there, and then we scrutinize some books here. And we scrutinize these books over here. And we scrutinize one more book that Lucia dropped on her feet. I think that was the book that, like, turned her into monster thingy. And now we're gonna talk to a wall. Very cool little tech that was found here. It's actually faster to fast travel to the city and enter the dungeon from the beginning and go to the wall from there instead of walking all the way from the final boss to the wall. Just a very interesting little side tech. And yeah, so the wall is coming up, so time is coming up very shortly. So we talk with this... Now we scrutinize this wall. And we just have some dialogue options here. This one, and power beyond life and death, and a warning, and a time. And these are the credits.
GG.
So credits in this game are kind of weird. There's 6 minutes of credits that you can't skip. But they show you all the bosses that you defeated, so that's kind of cool. And you might be wondering, how do you trigger credits in this game when you can select all of the 8 characters at the start in any given order, and you see the credits when you defeat the final boss of the character that you selected at the start. And since I selected Cyrus and that was the final boss of his story, we get to see the credits. But we're not gonna see like 6 minutes of credits because, like, who wants to do that? And you can't skip them for some reason. I hate it. And yeah, that was Octopath Traveler single story Cyrus. As I mentioned, all of the other characters have their own single story and all the speedruns. And there are speedruns for, like, the entire group, all stories, and all females and all males, and blah blah blah. There's like a million different categories. It's super fun. If you're interested, please check it out. And if you're just interested in the game, please just play the game. The game is great. It's a great JRPG. And yeah, I'm Xoneris. Thanks for watching. Finally, I've been able to participate in a UKSG again after like a year or so. A submission has finally been accepted again. Hooray! And yeah. This is probably a moment where I would like shout out myself and tell you to follow my Twitch, but I think last time I streamed was like 3 months ago, so don't do that. And yeah, that was me. Thanks for watching. Stay hydrated, stay safe. And yeah, please enjoy the rest of UKSG with Bioshock and Resident Evil, I believe, right?
Yes, correctly. Coming up next, we've got Benedictator running Bioshock. Thank you very much again, Xoneris, for running Octopath Traveler in here. And we will be back after a short ad break. Don't go anywhere.